what were your reactions? I was excited by three names, and I just take a look at the rest. But then later I went back and I saw the names, and I felt not a bad team.
No, I really liked the team. I thought the team was fantastic. I thought like these are people that have spent their careers like studying the Nigerian economy, and
Exactly.
I think that it's a really really fantastic team. And I'm so proud of the APC administration and the president for putting this team together. Because it's not a team of politicians; it's a team of subject matter
Finally,
experts. It's a
you
team of,
get.
yeah, it's a team of technocrats, and it's a team like just like I mean politicians. What is their main skill? Their main skill is getting people to vote for them.
Yeah.
And
So they'll do things that will make them popular. Populist
yeah, they're very
movements.
popular, and their main skill is would I say the art of persuasion, right?
Exactly.
But with these guys, that's not their
That's
skill.
not the thing.
They're not popular. they're real, technical experts in the economy, and I'm so happy. The only issue I had with that list is that there was only one woman.
Yes, I did see that, and I was, it was sad, honestly, because I felt we have too many economists of repute, the women, all over the country, that we could have had more women on this list.
Yeah, so that was my only
Yeah.
issue with the list, really. And I don't think it's because a lot of people would say it should be about competence, it shouldn't be about gender, right? But we don't do things on competence in this country anyway. Ekiti State, my state, and I can talk about Ekiti because it's my state.
Yeah.
We're less than 1% of Nigeria's population, but we must have a minister from Ekiti.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But women are 50% of Nigeria's population.
True,
and
but
we don't.
somehow we don't.
And
we
if
don't.
everybody on that list was, say, Fulani, for instance, or one ethnic group, or everybody
Yeah.
was from the South, and only one person was Yoruba,
There'll
then
be an outcry.
uproar,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If they made all ministers...
In fact, I heard somebody say something like, "Oh, the list has national character."
Yeah, exactly.
And
There's a whole
Yeah.
there's a whole parastatal set up to make sure that we have equal representation based on tribe. And some of the tribes are only really, or some of these areas are only 1% of Nigeria's population. But there's nobody looking at these things and making sure that there's an equal representation in terms of gender.
gender,
But all
yeah.
in all, fantastic list. I'm really excited.
All right, so going into the details, they have a huge task ahead of them. They say to whom much is given, much is expected. If there were a group of politicians, we probably might have not had this show this morning. We might have been talking about something else. But now we are expecting the bar has now been raised. It's like, when you were you were looking for food and you went to just a normal burger parlor, you're just expecting, you're thinking, what can they give me? But then you go to a 5-star restaurant, your taste is high, your expectations are high, and this guy is like, we have some of the best chefs in the kitchen now.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
we're expecting the soup to be sweet. No excuses. So first of all, let's start from the fiscal end. The fiscal end in Nigeria has been the part that has been failing us over and over. We even see right now that a fiscal side costs are increasing. We're seeing the government not being able to cut down expenditure. Parastatals are multiplying. Government offices are opening up everywhere, and you're thinking to yourself, are these people not seeing that we're having a revenue challenge? So where do you think they're going to start putting the scissors? Are they going to use scissors, or are they going to use a knife? Because they need to cut. Because I feel the fiscal side, they're just going to snip.
Last week, I said one of Ray Dalio's 3 golden rules for economic policy making.
Whatever to increase.
Number 3
Yeah.
was do everything you can to
increase
raise
productivity.
productivity. And that is what I'm expecting of this team. Whatever it takes to raise productivity. But the 2 other rules are also very important. Rule 1 is don't have debt rise faster than income. That's the first one. And number 2 is don't have income rise faster than productivity. And then number 3 is do everything that you can to raise productivity. So we've already let debt rise faster than income.
True.
So
In fact,
we've disobeyed-
income is reducing. We've disobeyed the first
we've
rule.
disobeyed the first rule. We've also disobeyed the second rule, actually, which is don't let income, don't have income rise faster than productivity. We've not raised productivity. So electricity, things that facilitate productivity. So on the income, on the fiscal side, we have two challenges, because fiscal policy is about government spending, but it's also about revenue, where the revenue is coming from. So we have a tax challenge, which we discussed extensively last week, and the challenge is really around taxing people that haven't eaten, taxing people that we don't know exist, taxing people without birth certificates, taxing people that are malnourished already because they're not spending enough, they're not buying enough
too many
food.
poor people.
Too many poor people. So how do we, get the tax right, get the government income right? Because government income right now is low. In terms of the taxes that we take from the oil and gas industry and the taxes that we take from corporates, VAT, etc., our tax basket is not enough to cater for the needs of the population. And what are the alternative sources of income? We also have a debt problem. That's also a fiscal
that's
issue.
Another issue.
So our debt is crippling compared to our revenue.
Crazy, right?
I saw that we're even spending more on servicing debt than we are on salaries. So government salaries used to be the biggest expense on our balance sheet. It's now debt servicing. So debt servicing is about 70% of our budget. So that's also an issue. And then the final issue is government spending and the cost of governance. How are we going to get that under control? I know that we're talking this morning about civil servants that don't even live in Nigeria. There's no accountability in terms of the in terms of the civil service. So how do we engage? How do we make the civil service? Civil service is the shopping floor of government.
True.
If it does not work, nothing can work. So how do we engage?
And there's another thing I think about that, especially when you look at the Singaporean civil service. It's a what do you want to call it? Based on merit. They have their best hands in their civil service, because if the civil service is working at optimal,
it has to work.
The country itself. Do you think this team will have any issues with fiscal policy in terms of monetary policy management of the country?
One you've even hit. My problem is not with fiscal. My problem is
the monetary, because this between them they have almost over close to 20 years experience as concerns. Okay, over 20 years experience as concerns monetary policy across them. One is a CBN governor, one is former deputy, one is just a member of the MPC. Between three of them, we have more than 20 years historical experience as concerns monetary policy across board.
But that is not the issue. The experience is not the issue. The issue is that over these 20 years, right, we've had high inflation.
Yeah.
We've had high interest rates.
We've
had a tax system that doesn't quite work for businesses. And we've had CRR, for instance, that is very high, that places pressure on the banks. We've not had a financial system that has actually benefited people in terms of credit. So the whole point of monetary policy is to get money flowing into the economy. Absolutely. Because consumer spending is the key to economic growth.
True, I agree. Without any doubt.
So how do you get more money into the economy, and how do you get more spending? How do you get more trade? And all those people that you've mentioned, yes, they've been experienced in those positions, but that experience has not yet produced the kind of productive economy that we need. So I think that of course, everybody knows the theory of what you're supposed to do to produce the economy, because countries are doing it now. What is the interest rate in America? When you take a loan in America, what is the interest rate?
I was going to talk about that. It's great that Zeal is now in the studio.
We know what to do because we've seen it done before.
The Fed cut rates yesterday.
Yeah, there's a force affecting. When the Fed decides to raise interest rates, even by 0.1%, everybody starts panicking. I'm like, look, our interest rate here is 20-something%. So we know what to do, but somehow the peculiarities of the economic forces in our country don't allow us to
move as we should
as our
move.
Politicians will say.
But what can we do? What can we do to address this? Because I'm thinking from between those three names, I want to believe. I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. I'm really hopeful because between those, I'm talking about the three first names: Doyin Salami, Bismarck Rwani, Chukwuma Soludo. They have time and time again not only spoken about how we can manage fiscal issues.
And Soludo has executed, don't forget.
Yeah.
It was under Soludo that the banks in Nigeria reduced from 150 or something ridiculous to less than 20. So he has executed and he has cleaned up the system once. So we're hoping that he'll be able to do it again.
I'm just really very concerned about the fact that at the end of the day, our hope is that at the end of the day, we can look at this team and say they helped us. You know, I'm really hopeful. But all through, productivity is your point with them.
Productivity. That is the only policy.
City of Lagos. Dr. Ola Brown is she has to leave. She's speaking somewhere this morning, so we couldn't have her for the entire show, and that's why we started the Policy Thursday very early. It hurts that she has to go right now because we've not even scratched the surface. There's so much to talk.
Still two areas of policy to talk about.
Exactly, and exchange policy because it's good. Anyways, Zil is also here, and I'm going to tackle him on the foreign exchange policy. Zil is everybody's organ.
We're just trying to be loyal.
You are loyal, as in Zil. Zil. You know, the funny thing is that there's nowhere in this market that I speak, I enter, that your name is not mentioned in hushed tones.
Because it's in the system. You understand? We were observers of the system. This is somebody that is in the system.
Every time you hear my name in hushed tones, please send me credit. That's all, please. Then I would know. Otherwise, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God! All right, City of Lagos. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, Zil is still. We'll keep Zil. Yeah.